Alrighty, firstly and foremost, happy Tuesday, happy Taco Tuesday. Hopefully everyone is ready for some beef, chicken, turkey, shrimp scampi, or just shrimp tacos, lobster tacos. I actually did have lobster tacos over the weekends. They were mighty, mighty yummy. Along with some beef tacos as well, too. Today, probably just going to stick to traditional beef. Oh, man, it feels great to really be back. If you just randomly clicked on this video, I actually just got back from a mini little vacation, cross-country vacation. It was my 38th birthday last week, last Thursday, June 25th, baby. Officially 38 years old. Oh, man, I can't wait until my 40s. Why can't I wait until my 40s? Because I can look into the future, and I can very much see that my life, my net worth, many people out there are going to be doing tremendously well in the next couple of years. And I'm just really excited to get out of the 30s, into the 40s, get even more further into my prime of living. So, firstly and foremost, welcome if you are new. I put out videos on this YouTube channel Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday. Probably going to upload a video Saturday because I was actually still traveling yesterday. If you have subscribed and you're kind of wondering what happened the last couple days with no videos, well, like I said, I was gone for a little bit on a little mini vacation, all geared up. I actually did a social media detox as well, too, along with pretty much a stock market detox as well. A lot of things are happening in the economy. A lot of things are happening geopolitically. A lot of things are happening in the stock market as well. But I kind of just really unplugged myself. Currently, I don't have any, super duper trade positions, as in short-term trades where I kind of really got to be watching everything like every minute, kind of like a day trade. Currently, I don't have any options. Everything is either a, investment right now for me, a shorter-term investment in the sense of like very much longer than 5 years. A short-term investment, maybe a couple years, and pretty much like a swing trade, less than 12 months, maybe more than 6 months. So, my stock profiles are very much built where I could very much unplug from social media. I could unplug from the stock market, and I can just really go and enjoy life. And I mean, if you're going to be making money in the stock market, you got to enjoy your money. You hoarding cash and stocks, it's great to see your net worth continue to go up, but you got to enjoy life. You really do. You got to get away. Social media is friggin' everywhere. I run other YouTube channels. One is 2,000 plus subscribers. Is a gaming channel, Nightmare RH. I even stepped away from uploading videos in the last week on that channel as well. You got to really get away and especially enjoy life. So for today's episode, kind of really want to talk a little bit about coming back from a vacation and what I typically do and how I kind of really get like refocused, because not gonna lie, unplugging myself for the last like 6 days today kind of really, I kind of really just don't really want anything to do with the market. I kind of just really want to, go play golf right now. Not really do a whole lot of, just work in general. That's really where my brain kind of is at this moment. And, getting back into the groove of things, whenever I've really done like a detox, I've also been in the market for 6+ years now, since Rona, March of 2020. And I've taken many vacations since then. And walking away from the market where you're not really checking your stocks. I'm not going to lie, I did check my stocks very much in the evening. But when you go ahead and build great positions out, you don't really need to be super focusing on every single thing. And it comes down to doing your due diligence. So, this is my public profile for this YouTube channel. I made this profile dedicated to, build this channel, which is around education purposes, motivation purposes. to really show people that you can very well make a lot of money when nobody really wants to buy stocks. But you got to really pick winner chicken dinners. You can't constantly be picking losers. I ended up selling one stock last week. I will be talking about that momentarily because the stock is actually up from where I sold it. So I do want to talk about that. But overall, I'm doing a public account profile challenge looking to take this sum of money to 6 figs in the course of 17 months. The account challenge started 2 January this year, and already we are the account is up by 44%. And I've deposited a lot more than I thought I would because the market was severely going down very much in February. Initially, this was an 18-month challenge, and then I kept depositing a lot of money. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of unfair in a way. I gotta bring it down to 17 months. But so if you go ahead and see this account, what do you notice right off the bat? Well, Nightmare, you have one stock that is literally taken over this profile, and it is 47%. This stock itself is very much on its way to $700, $800, $900, maybe even $1,000 by the end of this year, which you're talking the market value size of this position, advanced money destroyer, right? No, you see, I was buying AMD during Liberation Day. Actually, I started to accumulate AMD before Liberation Day on my main profile, and I was picking up AMD shares below $100, which I still own. I am loaded up the wazoo to AMD shares, and some shares I'm up by friggin' 500%? Like, just unbelievable, right? Crazy. Now, this account, I started buying AMD publicly very much around, I believe it was November of last year. And then very much going heavy all the way into like April, and that's really when AMD really took off. And there were a lot of very nasty people saying, what are you doing wasting your money on AMD? You keep buying AMD shares around $200. Why are you doing that? Well, now people are willing to pay $557 for an AMD share. Yeah, that is how the stock market works. One day, nobody wants to be buying AMD shares at $200. Another day, people are willing to pay $557. You know, I mean, like, come on, okay? So firstly and foremost, I have been asked this question about risk management because theoretically, when you listen to a lot of Wall Streeters on YouTube, they constantly talk about, oh, I got to rebalance my profile. They're pretty much talking about when one single position runs up so friggin' much, it takes over their profile, it freaks them out, okay? A lot of Wall Streeters honestly really do suck, and a lot of Wall Streeters are gamblers as well. They obviously don't say they're gamblers, but they very much are. And a lot of Wall Streeters are also very much corrupted as well too. Okay, a lot of Wall Streeters over the many, many years have been caught with manipulation, forcing people to sell their shares so they can buy at a cheaper price. Okay, yes, that does happen. It is very real. And if you are new to the stock market, understand that this is a very dangerous place to be. You got to do your due diligence. But am I selling any AMD shares anytime soon to rebalance my profile? The answer is hell no. Why? Because that's not my strategy. Why? It's because I've done my due diligence. Why? It's because that's what I do. The stock price, it's going a lot higher. There is so much money being pumped into chips now around memory, such as Micron, SanDisk, Samsung. That's a different story. As for chips, it's very different, okay? I do want to talk about a separate video revolving around Micron about how the government may even step in at the memory shortage that is very much happening right now. But just keeping it focused on just real stock talk, AMD is on a growth cycle. okay? I honestly thought AMD was going to be maybe $1,000, maybe $1,500 of shares in the next several years, like maybe 2 to 3 years. If AMD gets to $1,000 by the end of this year, that is way ahead of my projections. Would I sell some AMD at $1,000? It really depends what is going on very much when it comes to CapEx spending. If the top companies in the world are continuously spending money, then the answer is no. But if all the companies, Meta, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they're like, hey, 2027, we're not really going to be spending that much. Hey, I may want to de-risk some shares because this entire AI trade revolves around big companies spending money. And when those big companies can't spend any more money, well, then it's time to take some profits on AMD and very much move those profits elsewhere, right? So in my opinion, no. Like, I'm just glancing at my Robinhood account, my private account, and I'm looking at AMD with a better average than my public account, and the answer is no. Okay? There is no reason for me to really sell my shares. If AMD goes to a 50-60% like profile position, hey, it is on a growth cycle, okay? And that is the level of risk that I'm willing to expose myself to. Obviously, people have their level of risk, but I mean, hey, when SoFi gets rock and rolling, obviously, SoFi's position size on this account is definitely going to creep up as well. But AMD is a stock that I feel comfortable holding and I can go away. And the reason being is because the amount of money that's being pumped into chips. SoFi. SoFi is a long-term investment for me. I'm talking about 10 years unless the management team changes course. So, yeah, I can definitely go, away from the stock market, feel just fine. Robinhood's same exact thing. When the market is going to take risk, Robinhood is very much going up. Robinhood is very much going to be on a very solid uptrend now. So definitely feel comfortable not looking at Robinhood. Palantir, I honestly, Palantir is definitely a buy. But I've already deposited so much into this account. And I did buy some Palantir shares last week because I did sell out of my Adobe position. I ended up taking a $2,000 loss. You got to know when to cut the cord, take a loss. I was actually down over 30% on that position. So I rolled money into Palantir. I rolled money into ServiceNow, Coinbase, and I bought some crypto. Get to that momentarily. But I mean, Palantir, hypothetically, if Palantir was to go down below $100, I would be buying shares on vacation. So that one, I'm very much tempted to watch as for buying. And then also on TradingView, you can always set alerts too, which is absolutely amazing. Meta, I'm not doing anything special with. ServiceNow, I feel pretty comfortable on ServiceNow. I had such a massive position in Adobe. I mean, honestly, I realize, for all I know, Adobe could very much go back to $400 or $500. And by all means, I really hope it does because I know other people out there are very much invested in Adobe. And I hope good things for people. But, Adobe could very much go down to $150. That's also very factual too. PayPal is just really... PayPal is like a watcher for me. It's getting to where it's going to be fundamentally undervalued because their assets and everything. And I do want to see what the new management team is willing to do. And there's not really AI fear around PayPal. Adobe, there was AI fear around, left and right. Coinbase, obviously, I'm going to be buying more of Coinbase because once crypto is very much done in its downward cycle, Coinbase is very much going to be rock and rolling. And then last week, I did buy Ethereum. Will I be buying another Ethereum? if Ethereum actually goes even lower, maybe goes to like $1,000 or maybe 900, I'll go ahead and buy probably one more, and then that's pretty much about it. Otherwise, Ethereum, Bitcoin, they have a lot of recovering to pretty much do. Now, as for friggin' AMD, the weekly chart is crazy. We are in nosebleed territory. We are overbought like crazy when it comes to technical analysis. But here's the problem with technical analysis, right? The fundamentals are there. That is the problem with technical analysis. If the fundamentals are there, technical analysis goes out of the window. If the fundamental analysis is not there, technical analysis takes over. Why are the fundamentals there? Because AMD is going into crazy earnings that are coming up. So therefore, it doesn't matter if we're overbought. It doesn't matter. Because the market knows we are going into crazy earnings, right? If there were no crazy earnings, technical analysis, you're talking about, oh boy, you're talking about $263 on the 50-day moving average. Yeah, that is a crash. Okay, that's a 50% downward crash. So AMD just has the fundamentals. And stay tuned because August is gonna be crazy. Now, Adobe, I ended up selling Adobe at $195. Obviously, it's 204. Is that really big of a difference? No, it's not really that big of a difference. When I ended up selling Adobe, it was very much in very near oversold territory. Technical analysis, the RSI was honestly below 30. I could have really held on to Adobe a little longer, but I chose not to because I wanted to buy other stock and buy Ethereum. But here's the reality. This very well could be a dead cat bounce for Adobe. So overall, I mean, hey, I took a $2,000 loss. I ended up taking a greater loss too on my private account because the stocks I buy publicly, I also buy privately. But once again, my winners, they're winners, baby. And AMD, let me say this, and I did make a video about this. If AMD goes to my price projection, I will make over $100,000 of net profits. Not the size, like the amount of money, I also have like in AMD as well. I'm just talking about sheer profits, okay? Beyond six figures. All right? Like I said, if you're new here, welcome. I'm retail. I'm not some big Wall Streeter. And I've also worked my ass off to very much get to where I am in life. Obviously, 100K in sheer profits for Wall Streeters, that's like pennies on the dollar. For retail, that's life-changing money. That is definitely life-changing money for me. So I can definitely tell you that I will make beyond six figures in net profits if AMD goes to my targets. Now, this is where it gets crazy about AMD. If AMD were to go head-to-head with NVIDIA, oh man, I could very well make beyond 200K, maybe even $250,000 of sheer profits. How friggin' crazy would that be? Do I really believe that's going to end up happening? I mean, it'll be cool. I really honestly don't. I see AMD very much being like a couple multi-trillion-dollar like worth of a company. Right now, AMD, they're trading at a market cap of 912 billion, so almost 1 trillion, okay? Did I say multi-billion? I meant multi-trillion. So AMD could very well be maybe 2, maybe even 3 trillion. But becoming a $5-6 trillion company, like you're talking about the stock price going friggin' 2,500. that is a far stretch. But there are people that are willing to make that their bull case. My bull case is honestly anywhere between maybe $1,250 to $1,500 a share, in that good range. My base case, pretty much what you like your bull case. Think of your bull case as something better than expected. Your base case is what you're really expecting. I'm really expecting AMD to maybe be 1,000 or 1,200, 1,250 stock. And my bear case, $800, which is still higher than where it is right now. And that's running projections, looking at everything, and really understanding like evaluation. But it's utterly crazy. It really is. Now, last thing I really want to talk about is SoFi. Pretty much what is happening with SoFi. SoFi is very much in a weird limbo. Okay, very much weird limbo. This is the VWAP, volume weighted average price. Basically, over the last trading days, and I'm on the 5-minute chart right now. Every one of these candles is 5 minutes. Volume on SoFi is just really all over the place. Some days we get a lot of volume, some days we don't. Right now, volume is definitely very much on the lower end. Oil has been below 70, but it's not there just yet. It's rate hikes. That's really what it is. Okay, so if you're a SoFi investor, I have tens and tens of thousands of dollars invested in SoFi. Just be patient, okay? It is all about getting rid of rate hikes. And once we do that over the next several months, we're going to be rock and rolling. I'm going to go ahead and sum this video up and really say that the way that I live my life, where I can go and step away from the stock market and very much not worry about my investments, even my like trade positions. I do have several trade positions, definitely that I don't mention publicly because they are very risky, and the content that I really want to put out is very much more investing, educational. But definitely when we get out of this geopolitical bullshit nonsense, I may actually very well be doing some long-term options, which are very much, definitely very risky, and definitely doing some short-term trades as well too for education and also motivation as well too. But the level of risk that I take on trades and options, it's not big, okay? It's very small. Obviously, I bought Ethereum, which is very small on my public account. Very small, okay? $1,500 out of my $52,000 public account here. It's what is it? You're talking less than oh boy. It's like around a couple percent. So, yeah, you're talking about maybe about 3% of my profile is in like very volatile crypto. Obviously not 30%. I am a crypto bull, but I would very much rather invest in common stock than very much crypto. So that's one of the ways that I can really walk away. So tomorrow, I'm definitely going to be talking about a lot of major updates that is very much happening. If you enjoyed today's episode, smash the like button. I appreciate every single person showing up. Thank you all for liking these videos as well. See you tomorrow on the next one. Later.